Welcome back. The dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about.
Hello. How to text like a pro. What are 5 text messages in a sequence that are guaranteed to get you a date? Now, what we do here is we design the sequence before you start texting. So let me explain. Before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no BS, novel dating advice for the modern man. Check out my top comment and check out my digital product. Check out the AI bot. Check out the 30-day challenge. Texting. I've been getting a lot of messages around texting at the moment. I'm a little bit surprised you guys are still talking about texting. I guess that's because texting is so complicated. But let's try to break it down. The first text that you send out, hi, but it is usually like a feeler. Now let me explain. A lot of people just send nice to meet you. That's usually their first text message. It doesn't matter who it is, nice to meet you. I recommend that you use something other than that, so you're a little bit individual. You come across like you're different. A lot of guys talk about you should comment on something that happened during the interaction, something along those lines. But the ultimate text, even if it's a bad interaction, or even if it's Tinder, there should still be a feeler, in my opinion. And the feeler is the fact that you, as a newbie, you can't really read whether she's that interested or not. And so therefore, what we need to do is send out, the equivalent of a nice to meet you, but it needs to be sent out in a way that is worded differently. Get out your thesaurus and try to reword that in a way that is individual to you. Let's try to be individuals. Let's not be bots, guys. It's called PUA art for a reason, because it's an art form. You're supposed to be individual. They're not supposed to know what's going to come next, and you shouldn't know either. There shouldn't be canned lines. So every city and every demographic that you are trying to date, there should be a different sequence. And the sequence is usually around 5 text messages. You send out the feeler, and then she'll respond with it was good meeting you too. And then you need to follow up with the second message in the sequence. Now, is it related to the interaction that you just had? Or are you going to go straight for logistics? You're gonna just go, hey, do you live near where I met you? Or if it's a dating app, do you live in this area? Do you live near this landmark that I happen to live near? Do you live near this mall? You want to get logistics early. I think that's important. That should be the second text. Then the third text should be trying to figure out her schedule somehow, some way, right? And you can lead in with something like, let's have dinner tonight. Do you want to have dinner tonight? Literally just go straight for it, basically. Just go straight in. Or you can basically go, are you working or studying? You see, then you try to gather the logistics from that. You try to infer from what she tells you about her industry, what type of job she's in. Is she doing a 9 to 5? Is she working in the hospitality industry on the weekend? Use your brain, you can figure this out quite easily. Then obviously the fourth one is going to be basically you getting some sort of contact information. It's literally that simple. And you just go for it. What is your number? Yeah. Or depending on how it goes, what you're gonna do is then you're gonna ask her, like, okay, so you get you get her logistics with the third text, and the fourth text is, do you want to have dinner tonight or tomorrow? Usually it's tomorrow, because sometimes they're They can wait. You can wait up to 24 hours for them to reply if it is a dating app. But if it is a cold approach, you should get a response faster. This is why cold approach is usually better. And then the fifth one is basically just asking for contact information. This is how simple it is. Now, every message that you send, you could, if you wanted to, you could send a whole paragraph of information and you could ask a whole bunch of frivolous questions. What you're going to get in return is a whole bunch of frivolous answers, and she might not check the app, or she might not reply to you because she gets bored, and then you might lose the lead. It will go cold, and then she'll start ghosting you, and you'll wonder why you've lost the lead. And that's your fault, because you're asking stupid questions, you're sending paragraphs of fluff, and you're wasting everybody's time. A lot of the time, what you're trying to do, if the girl is kind of interested in you, you're trying to help her date you. Understand? So you're trying to help her date you. You're trying to just not get in your own way, which is what most men do. So that's a simplistic, kind of 5-step process on how to text in the simplistic way possible. Sign up to coaching. If you want to go in depth on, online coaching, I definitely do online coaching. I have a package for that. It's not cheap. So if you're a brokey, you're done. You can't afford it. You're a brokey. Don't bother filling it out. If you're a time waster, don't bother filling it out. Because you're probably no use to yourself, let alone use to, you're better off just like reading articles online and watching YouTube videos. There are other options for you. 30-day challenge, highly recommended. I've got hundreds of articles on my website. There's a lot of information out there. I've been around longest, one of the longest around, probably one of the most experienced out there as well. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Let's not go and do all this fluff text messaging and ruin all of your chances and send paragraphs of fluff. See you guys in the next video.